supposed to be. Oh yeah. Right where I'm supposed to be. Where the safety is, where your goodness is. Oh, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. If you're looking for me, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right where I'm supposed to be. No regrets, no worries, 'cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. No regrets, no worries, 'cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your arms, right in your hand. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your love, right in your praise. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Your hand. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Your hand is always right where I'm supposed to be. Right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your hand, oh. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Oh yeah. Right where I'm supposed to be. Where the safety is, where your goodness is. Oh, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. If you're looking for me, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right where I'm supposed to be. No regrets, no worries, 'cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. No regrets, no worries, 'cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your arms, right in your hand. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your love, right in your praise. Well, good morning, LOC. What a joy it is to be here in the house of the Lord one more time. Well, I told you last week, and I'm going to tell you again. Come on, pull out your phones. Pull out your phones. Everybody, pull out your phone. Go to our Facebook or YouTube platform. We want to share the live stream. We want to invite people to join us here at LeMoyne for our College Soul Sessions. Come on, everybody should be sharing. Our goal is to get 100 shares every service. Every chapel soul session, 100 shares. We want to put the message of whatever we have going on out there. And guys, I am excited. We are going to hear from some great people today. We have our very own 14th president in the house. He will be speaking on today. Dr. Christopher Davis is in the house. We have Dr. Peter Gackey and so many great other people that will be serving on today. So if you're excited for worship, come on, stand to your feet. For the Bible says, let's have a joyful noise unto the Lord. Let us join in with gladness and hope. So Father God, let's give it up for Renee as she comes at this time.
Good morning, LOC family. How we doing this morning? Let's raise the vibration in the room. I hope that you all are doing blessed and well on this day. I just want to encourage you by singing this wonderful song. You all may be seated. You all may be seated. You're broken down and tired of living life in a merry-go-round, and you can't see the fighter, but I see it in you, and we're gonna walk it out and move mountains. We're gonna walk it out and move mountains, and we'll rise up, rise like the day. We'll rise up, rise unafraid. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up high as the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, you. And when the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, I know you feel like crying, but I promise you we're gonna take the world to its feet. Move mountains and bring it at his feet, and move mountains. Oh, and we'll rise up, rise like the day. We'll rise up, rise unafraid. We'll rise up and do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, you. You see, all we need is love and hope, and we have it together. You see, we have it together. Yes, and we will rise, we will rise. We will rise together. we'll rise up. We'll rise unafraid. We'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up. I'm saying high as the waves. We'll rise up. In spite of the ache, we'll rise up. And we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you. For you and you and you. You. Good morning, LOC family. One more time. Good morning, LOC family. That's way better. All right. Welcome to another Chapel Soul session. Whether you're joining us for the first time or you've already begun settling into the rhythm of this semester, I'm grateful you've chosen to gather in this sacred and scholarly space. In the spirit of W.E.B. Du Bois, the souls of Black folk, these sessions continue to bring together worship, dialogue, music, reflection, and community because we believe education should form the whole person, mind, body, spirit, and social conscience. This week's theme is Living the Legacy, the Life of the Mind. Last week, we asked a foundational question: why do we gather? We gather because formation requires it. We gather because none of us becomes who we're called to be in isolation. And today, we take the next step in that journey by asking another important question: what kind of minds is LeMoyne-Owen College seeking to cultivate? An HBCU has never been simply a place where information is transferred from professors to students. Our institutions were born out of a conviction that education is an act of liberation. They have always challenged us to think critically, question courageously, imagine boldly, and lead faithfully. The life of the mind is not about accumulating facts. It is about developing the wisdom and discernment to use what we've learned in service of our communities. That's why today's conversation matters. Rather than hearing a lecture or sermon, you'll witness a dialogue among members of our own college community. Our president, our provost, and student leaders will help us reflect on the intellectual legacy of LeMoyne-Owen College and the responsibility each of us bears to carry that legacy forward. Our hope is that this conversation encourages all of us to think more deeply about what it means not to simply attend an HBCU, but to become part of its living tradition. Before we continue, please take a moment to scan the QR code on the screen to mark your attendance. We'll leave it displayed for about 30 seconds to ensure everyone has an opportunity to check in. A few brief reminders. If you capture pictures or video during today's session, please tag Magic 807 Radio and LeMoyne-Owen College in your social media post. Following today's Soul session, Magic 807 will once again invite members of our campus community to share brief reflections about today's experience. LOC family, this remains sacred space. This is a place where questions are welcome, ideas are sharpened, perspectives are expanded, and community is strengthened. This is a place where we refuse to choose between faith and scholarship because we understand that both are gifts from God and both require humility, discipline, and courage. So simply don't come to hear today's conversation. Lean into it. Challenge your assumptions. Listen generously. Think deeply. And ask yourself not only what you will learn today, but who this learning is inviting you to become. Take a deep breath. Settle your spirit. Open your mind. And together, let us continue living the legacy.
Education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. The truth of these words is manifest in the transformed lives of the students and alumni of historic LeMoyne-Owen College. LeMoyne-Owen is the heart of the Soulsville, USA Renaissance community in Memphis, Tennessee. Surrounding its beautiful campus are the Stax Museum, the Stax Music Academy, elementary and charter schools, historic churches and businesses, and the stately Elmwood Cemetery. As the only historically black college in Memphis, LeMoyne-Owen College has educated local and national leaders who, with their passion and presence, have made an indelible impact on their respective communities and touched countless lives. Consider Marion Barry, former mayor of Washington, D.C., Willie W. Harrington, Memphis's first African-American superintendent of Memphis City Schools and the first African-American elected mayor of Memphis, Dr. Benjamin Lawson Hooks, first African-American appointed to the Federal Communications Commission and former NAACP National Executive Director, Judge, and Minister, Lois DeBerry, former House Speaker pro tempore and one of the longest-serving members in the history of the Tennessee State House of Representatives, and G.E. Patterson, founding pastor, Temple of Deliverance, Bishop, Church of God in Christ, all history makers, all LeMoyne-Owen College magicians.
Owen is able to say some things that the University of Memphis, Christian Brothers, or Rhodes cannot say. And that is, regardless of where our students come from, 89% of LeMoyne-Owen graduates stick and stay in Memphis. They go to work there, they become a part of the tax base, they marry there, they start families there. So you can't say as a city that you're concerned about keeping some of your best and your brightest in the city so that we don't continue to suffer brain drain and not have a real relationship with an institution that has demonstrated year over year that we keep roughly 90% of our graduates in this city.
That's a huge number. Most cities,
Absolutely.
as you know, their alumni go off and go to other places, but roughly 90% that
They stick and stay.
they stick and stay.
And so when you look at, see, it's not an accident. LeMoyne-Owen College, LOC, that's leadership opportunity change. That is not an accident. When you look at leadership, when you look at the first African-American mayor in our city, when you look at first African-American superintendent, when you start talking about the first speaker pro tem for the House, and the list goes on and on and on, these individuals were graduates of LeMoyne-Owen College. So when you look at every 7 leaders of color in our city, 3 of them have ties to LeMoyne-Owen College. So you can't talk about the leadership of our city and not talk about our institution.
If you're happy to be alive, put your hands together and bless God in this place. And good morning, LOC family. I also want to take a moment and celebrate the chapel assistants who have led so far. Would y'all give it up for Christian and Jasmine and Kennedy? We want to center ourselves as we prepare for a conversation about the life of the mind, and I just want to share a few thoughts that I hope can help guide how we would engage and interpret the things that we're about to see and hear over the next several minutes. My grandmother, Luella Mae Taylor, taught my mother, Claudia Fisher, who taught me that there's always enough out there that you don't know to make a whole new world. I've carried those words with me for most of my life because they've become more than a family saying. They've become a philosophy for faithful living. After more than 20 years of ministry and 15 years in higher education, I've discovered that I know a lot about a little bit and a little bit about a lot, but don't nobody know everything about anything. As a matter of fact, when it comes to God or truth and the mysteries of life, none of us possess the fullness of divine revelation. Now, these realizations should not intimidate us, they should humble us. But we live in a cultural moment that often rewards certainty more than curiosity. The late political scientist named Tom Nichols described it as the death of expertise. We are living in a time when confidence is mistaken for competence and information is confused with wisdom. Wisdom still requires humility and discipline and a willingness to have our minds changed. And that's why institutions like the one you're at right now and the legacy you're living into right now, LeMoyne-Owen College, matters so much. If there's any place where we ought to be honest about what we don't know and courageous enough to ask difficult questions and humble enough to learn from people whose experiences differ from our own, it ought to be at an HBCU like LeMoyne-Owen College. This institution was never created simply to distribute degrees. It was created to cultivate minds, develop character, and prepare people to think critically about themselves, their communities, and the world God has called them to transform. You are living into this legacy right now. And I'm a living witness to this transformation. I barely graduated Benton Harbor High School in Michigan. And if you ask my sister today, she'll tell you the only reason I walked across the stage is because I went to summer school. And she had to persuade one of my teachers to give me a C in order for me to walk. I wasn't raised in an environment where young black men were expected to become scholars and professors and pastors or public intellectuals. Then I came to LeMoyne-Owen College. It was the first place where I was surrounded by black people who looked like me but did not all think like me. My professors challenged me. Books challenged me. Chapel services challenged me. My classmates and teammates challenged me. And through those experiences, God began renewing my mind. And I think that's exactly where the writer of Romans chapter 12 was talking about when it says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed, say transformed, by the renewing, say renewing. The renewing of your mind. Don't be conformed to this world. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This isn't merely talking about acquiring more information. It's talking about refusing to let an anti-black world define your identity. It's talking about refusing to let greed shape your values, refusing to let propaganda replace critical thinking, and refusing to allow fear to silence your convictions. Transformation begins when your mind gets renewed. This is the intellectual legacy you are inheriting at LeMoyne-Owen College. This is the institution of Samuel A. Owen and Hollis F. Price, who believed education was a pathway to freedom. It's the institution where C. Eric Lincoln and Juanita Williamson and Clenora Hudson Weems and Dr. Cheryl Golden and countless faculty members whose scholarship and teaching have expanded minds and transformed lives and challenged generations of students to think beyond the limits imposed upon them. And if you'll allow me to testify a little bit, this institution shaped me too. Whatever contributions I have made as a pastor, an organizer, and scholar, and author has roots in the same classrooms, hallways, and sacred spaces that you are walking in and through right now. A few years ago, I was at a middle school here in Memphis for career day, and a student asked me, have you ever been to Harvard? That's how you said it, Harvard. And what struck me wasn't the question itself, but this assumption underneath it. It was this assumption that somehow brilliance had a particular address and legitimacy only belongs to certain institutions. I smiled back at that brother and said, no, sir, I've never been to Harvard. I'm a graduate of a black high school, Benton Harbor High School. I'm a graduate of a black college, LeMoyne-Owen College, the only HBCU in Memphis. And you could put me in a room with anybody from Harvard or Yale or Princeton, and I'll stand toe-to-toe with any and every last one of them. And not because brilliance belongs to me, but because brilliance never belongs to a zip code. It's cultivated through discipline and community and the courage to think deeply. So this is what we are inviting you to do today and in the days and weeks and months and years to come. We are inviting you to embrace the life of the mind. Read broadly, listen carefully, ask difficult questions, allow your professors and your classmates and this institution to stretch you beyond your comfort zone. Because living the legacy is not simply about remembering the remarkable people who came before us. It's about becoming the type of human beings who will one day inspire somebody else to believe that another world is possible. So welcome to the life of the mind, and we need you to continue to live into this legacy. We're about to hear another song that's going to set the stage for this wonderful panel. But if you are here, I want you to take out a notebook or get ready to take some notes on your phone, because you might hear and see and feel something that can change the rest of your life. Watch this screen. If you got hope, put your hands together. Bless God in this place. Today, we're privileged to hear from leaders who experience the work of this college and this community from different perspectives. We have institutional leadership, we have classroom leadership, and student life. I first want us to celebrate the 14th president of LeMoyne-Owen College, Dr. Christopher B. Davis. The interim provost, Dr. Pete Getke. Let's celebrate the president of the National Panhellenic Council here at LeMoyne-Owen College, Brother Damaris Henderson. And let's celebrate Miss LeMoyne-Owen College, Sister Giselle Anderson. So, Dr. Davis, of course, we want to start with you. As president, you know, you carry responsibility for stewarding both the history and the future of this institution. When you think about the Black intellectual excellence and tradition at LeMoyne-Owen, say a little bit about what that means to you and what kind of graduates we are trying to cultivate. I mean, beyond preparing students for careers, how is it that we are committed to preparing them in leadership, service, and transformation?
First of all, Dr. Fisher, thank you for the invitation to share, and good morning to all the magicians that are assembled on today. I scratched down some notes so I wouldn't forget anything. I think I want to begin by saying that for me and the LeMoyne-Owen that I'm trying to lead every day, the fundamental conviction is this: our students should not be prepared to enter the world as is, but equipped to transform it into what it ought to be. So if you leave LeMoyne only committed to finding your place in your space and maintaining the status quo, then number one, we've done you a tremendous disservice. And then secondly, we have not done a good job of living into the legacy of HBCUs, more specifically living into the legacy of LeMoyne-Owen College. Because I think the last thing I want to say is, I think it's important that you all know that intellectual excellence is bigger than academic achievement. Do we want you to do well in the classroom? Absolutely. Do I want you to graduate in 4 years? You better believe it. But the truth of the matter is, you need to know it's bigger than diplomas and certificates and academic credentials and going on to a wonderful career, and all of those things are important. But education is not just about making a living, it's about making a difference. And if we've not equipped you and inspired you to leave 807 Walker committed to making a difference in the world, then we failed you as an educational institution.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. I'll give it up for Mr. President. Dr. Getke, I know you and have known you for about 20 years. I know you spent some time studying and teaching the history of several institutions, and this being one of them. You heard us mention some of the illustrious faculty and scholars and educators who have shaped the trajectory of this college, especially from an intellectual perspective. Can you talk a little bit about how the intellectual tradition informs who we are as an institution and what kind of responsibility we have to preserve and strengthen the legacy for the future generations?
I'll try. So thanks for the invitation to speak with you all this morning. I came to LeMoyne-Owen about 3.5 years ago after being in the city of Memphis for a little over 15, 16 years. I'd been on this campus just a couple of times, both to go to basketball games, because I had been teaching at, I hate to say it, but I was at Christian Brothers University.
Your sins are forgiven.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, brother. And though I knew of LeMoyne-Owen College, I'd been on the campus those few times, I didn't really know LeMoyne-Owen College. So when I came here 3.5, 4 years ago, I decided that I needed to study some history. So where do you go if you're going to study history? The library. So I went to the library thinking there must be a book at the LeMoyne-Owen College Library that is a history of LeMoyne-Owen College. You know what I found out? There is no such book. There's a dissertation that somebody did that ended with 1970, but from 1970 to the present, there is no written history of LeMoyne-Owen College. If you're a history major or if you're not, you're part of this history. You're making this history, but in order to continue the history, we've got to know what the history is in the past. So I'm going to challenge one of you, at least, to start writing that history with your own lives, but also to start talking to what we might call the elders, those who have been around a while on this campus. Some of them are faculty, some of them are staff. Sometimes alumni come by. Ask them questions about what has this place been for you? Why has this been an important place? One of my teachers in doing that was a guy by the name of Dr. Clarence Christian. Dr. Clarence Christian was a student here in the 1960s. He was one of the leaders of students who led the efforts to desegregate the city of Memphis. He then went on to get a PhD in sociology. He came back and taught. He eventually became the first African-American faculty member at Rhodes College. He took me around this neighborhood and taught me the history not only of LeMoyne-Owen College, but of the neighborhood. Anybody here ever heard the name W.C. Handy? Father of the blues? I'm not going to say he was a LeMoyne-Owen graduate, because he wasn't, but his house was right over here. The city of Memphis, when they redid Beale Street, yanked his house out of this neighborhood and put it on Beale Street. That's a travesty. That's an injustice that's done to our history in this neighborhood. So we need to know those sorts of things. But what about specifically LeMoyne-Owen College? There's a long list, which I'm going to give to your instructors, of famous alumni of this college. Some were mentioned in the video. But you should know that Richard Wright, ever heard of him? A great novelist, was a graduate of LeMoyne. Now, not directly. He was part of something called the Howe Institute, which was here in Memphis, and he went to school at the Howe Institute. The Howe Institute merged with LeMoyne. So he's an alum of LeMoyne-Owen College. Mordecai Wyatt Johnson, the first black president of Howard University, is a graduate of LeMoyne-Owen College. I just learned this morning from our president that Hugh M. Gloucester, president of Morehouse, 1967 to 1989, who started the School of Medicine at Morehouse in 1975, was a faculty member here at LeMoyne-Owen College in the 1930s and 40s. And he wrote the alma mater, which we will sing someday. So next week, in fact, at Convocation. So that just gives you a little bit of a taste. I want to give you one more taste, because across the street is Second Congregational Church. It wasn't always there, just like we weren't always here on this campus. Started downtown as Lincoln Chapel, burned to the ground during the Memphis Massacre, then moves to Orleans Street. If you know where the old Commercial Appeal building is, that's the approximate location of the LeMoyne Normal and Commercial School. That's when it became LeMoyne. Across the street from that campus was Second Congregational Church. The pastor of Second Congregational Church was a guy by the name of Benjamin Imes. He was also professor of Bible and Christian work at LeMoyne Normal and Commercial School. Why is he important? Because he was the pastor of Ida B. Wells. He inspired her anti-lynching work, a faculty member at LeMoyne-Owen College. That's the kind of legacy that we share at this school. And what we need to do now is think about that legacy from 1970 to the present, because all these folks are pretty long time ago. What about 1970 to the present? Your present, what you're doing here now. How are you going to be part of that legacy?
Y'all give it up for Dr. Gecki. Damaris, I want to come to you now. I want you to talk a little bit about the ways that LeMoyne has challenged you intellectually. Was there a professor or a particular class or a conversation or an experience that you think has fundamentally helped change or even strengthen the way that you are thinking now?
So good morning, everybody. Thankful to be here. Thankful to be placed here. So there is one class that has changed my thinking. I took it last semester. African American history is definitely a big one. And Memphis being the epicenter of a lot of African American history just definitely changed my thinking because, as some of you guys know, I'm from Waterloo, Iowa. If you guys can point that on the map. I don't know if you guys can or not. Yep. I'm from there. So to give you a little insight, 10% black population. There's like 128,000 black people in Iowa compared to the 3.2 million of white people. So definitely has changed my thinking coming down here, and then definitely intellectually that class has changed my thinking and the mapping of my brain to think, okay, I have to meet everybody in this class where they're at and where they come from. Because I'm not from Memphis, and I've done community service things around Memphis. I've been to Orange Mound, North Memphis, South Memphis, Whitehaven, whatnot. And it definitely has taught me, okay, I haven't been through the things that you guys have been through, and I'm not thinking how you guys are thinking. It definitely has strengthened my mind to definitely meet everybody where they're at, and definitely not to be kind of conceited and closed off to my own mind, and to where to think, okay, I'm from Iowa. They taught us this how everything is down here, instead of going there and seeing it myself. And also listening from everybody where they're coming from, and also grasping of not only why I'm doing this, but also where am I doing this at and why am I doing it there. So
Come on, y'all give it up for Damaris. Jose, I want to ask you, basically the same question. How have your professors or classmates or the broader campus community helped shape the way you think? And has your experience here influenced any other aspect of how you see yourself as you continue to grow?
So, good morning, everyone. Yes, I am Giselle Anderson, your 78th Miss LeMoyne-Owen College. I'm happy to speak today. And so there actually is a few classes. The campus itself has changed the way that I think, but I will say, as much as it pains me to admit this, when I took your class, the speech class, this was last year, last fall, it challenged me to think about what the people are saying in conversations that we're having, and also what I'm saying, and to know what I'm saying before I say it. And why? Why are you saying this? Where is this information coming from? It now affects every conversation that I have, and the way that I speak to people, and the way that I receive that message. So I will give you props, Dr. Fisher, but also this campus itself and the culture on this campus is much different from what I'm used to, because I am from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Memphis is much different than where I'm from. So, like, listening to people, the culture in Memphis and on this campus is much different. It changed the way that I think, the way that I come off, the way in which I communicate. All these things played a role for that. So those are a few things.
Yeah, give it up for Giselle. So we got a few minutes left. I'm going to come back to both of you first, and then I want Dr. Gecki or Dr. Davis to start to think about what role next week with convocation is going to play and how that relates to some of the stuff that we're discussing now. But for either of you, can you think of a time? I think a lot of students come to institutions like this, and if they're honest, they are intellectually insecure. They don't feel confident in what they know. And I want to know if either of you had dealt with that. And if you dealt with that kind of intellectual insecurity, what are some of the things that you experienced or engaged in that may have helped with some of that?
Yep. Excuse me. Rooting back to my different classes and different professors, definitely with that insecurity, I'm a person that thinks I know it all, and then I've definitely come here and it has changed my thinking of to where I don't know it all. I don't know all the black history. I do not know the history and the disparities that have went through Memphis, and then that's definitely have brought me down to a lower level to actually backtrack to what I was talking about just a second ago, meeting people where they are. And then always having an open mind and definitely cultivating yourself to be a better person, and also you can hear other people to strengthen your argument as well.
So Yes, I actually was one of those students who struggled intellectually and like in the way that I was thinking, but it was also more so in the beginning when I first came here in my freshman year in 2023. I would say I was more so worried on how people viewed me and how I could essentially please everyone that I met and making sure that I can make sure that my reputation I was building was like it was a clean slate. But so, a hard lesson that I had to learn on this campus was that everyone's gonna have your own opinion about you, and you're gonna upset someone. Someone's gonna have something negative to say about you, but that's just the way the world works. And so I push myself every day to make sure that I'm coming off in a positive way. I know I'm not going to please everyone because by nature I am a people pleaser. So that's something I still often struggle with, but I also notice that these are very similar things that everyone on campus may be dealing with as well. So that changes my thinking and when I'm coming to someone and especially when I'm receiving something about what a person has done on campus because they may be struggling with the same thing. So that I put myself in people's shoes often because of what I've experienced. So that's a few things that's challenged me and changed me intellectually.
Thank you. Y'all give it up for them for sharing their experience. Dr. Gecky, Dr. Davis, we got a few minutes left. I think having heard that, before we even start talking about what convocation is and should mean, what are some of the things that you think we should embrace as administration, as faculty, as staff, knowing that these kind of experiences are this tender insofar as how people are encountering things and coming into this space with the kind of intellectual insecurity, but also not just tender, but um, transformative. Like what kind of challenges should we be embracing to make sure that more of the students who are here and more of the students who are coming will ultimately have a similar testimony as Damaris and Giselle?
I'll start because I have the microphone. I think it's really important for us as faculty, as administrators, staff, to see each one of you as our business. You're our work. And I'm going to back off that just a little bit and talk about, as a faculty member, to think about that I'm not teaching a subject, like a bunch of material. I'm teaching students, people, subjects, not the subject, but subjects. So when I welcome you into this space, I'm welcoming your questions, who you are, your life experiences, your challenges. I'm really happy to hear about two Midwesterners because I grew up in Minnesota, ran cross country and track in Waterloo, used to be on the faculty at Kalamazoo College and coach cross country at Kalamazoo College. So I've got connections here. But that's the wonderful thing about as I talk with students, and this happens inside and outside of the classroom, is I start to hear connections. I start to hear about experiences that I need to hear about in order to grow as a human being. And so as a faculty member, and now, unfortunately, I'm not in the classroom, I'm in the provost's office. As a provost, for every student who comes in to my office or I'm walking out in the campus, you are providing life. You're providing a source of wisdom. You're providing something that can bring something new into my life. And so it's not about us just pouring information into your heads. It's also that we are in a community of scholarship together and we're learning together.
Each time I walk across the campus of LeMoyne, I'm absolutely amazed by the space I find myself in. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. I grew up watching the Lou Rawls Parade of Stars for the United Negro College Fund. Of course, the 37 member institutions, LeMoyne is one of those institutions. If you're not familiar with that, every year all the stars would come on, you would call in and pledge money to UNCF to support HBCUs. And of course, never in my wildest dreams would I have ever imagined myself leading an HBCU. I remember saying to my grandmother, you need to donate some money, you need to donate some money. And the catch line, if you're familiar with UNCF, was always, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. As I look back back on that in retrospect, I think the challenge was, and I think it's important that you all hear this, while they were intentional about telling us a mind was a terrible thing to waste, they never bothered to tell us what a mind is. So I grew up believing that an education was essentially memorizing a bunch of facts and being able to regurgitate that information on a test or an exam. And for many of you all, you come out of academic settings like that. You memorize, you give it back, you pass the test, you pass the class, you move on. I think the challenge for us is to convince you that the mind is an instrument of liberation, leadership, and service. And what does it look like to give you the wherewithal, the freedom, and the confidence to bring your full intellectual self into every conversation interaction, which means you don't have to see it the way I see it. You don't have to understand it the way I understand it. As a matter of fact, I think that's the beauty of being not only at an HBCU, but at a liberal arts institution where we create intentional space where you can think freely, you can think critically, you can wrestle with complex issues, and we can walk away not seeing it the same way, but both of us being smarter because we've gained insight from what each of us have brought to the conversation. And that's what I want to encourage you all in. Resist the temptation to merely say what you've always heard. If you see it differently, if you understand it differently, it's okay for you to espouse that. But now you've got to have the kind of elasticity that if you've seen it wrong, you've got to be willing to own the fact that while I've not seen it that way, that's certainly worth considering. But if the way you see it is consistent with your convictions and your personhood, then you need to stand on that 10 toes down. So we're not asking you to change that, but we are asking you to be aware of the fact that your view is not the only view that's out there. And if you're willing to engage on that level in the classrooms, in chapel, in the student center, in the dining hall, then these next 4 to 5 years will be some of the most incredible days of your life. And so that's really my hope for you, because again, that is not my story. That is not the way I was formed academically. I was formed to memorize the material and give it back to us on demand, almost like Pavlov's dog. They don't know, okay. To give it back on command. So, but I want you all to view the world differently. I want you to view education differently. And I want you to view what does it mean to be smart differently. Just because you have the ability to memorize a whole lot of facts does not make you the smartest person in the conversation. The question becomes, can you wrestle with a complex idea? Can you think deeply? Can you think critically? And then do you have the confidence to say, here's how I see it? If you can do that, then you have everything you need to be a magician.
Y'all give it up for this panel. Y'all give it up for this panel. Thank y'all so much. All right, so hold it where you are. Y'all can be dismissed. Thank y'all. Because I know the president has a meeting that he needs to get to at 12. So for the rest of you, I need about 4 or 5 more minutes of your time and attention, right? So one, it is always good to be able to hear these wonderful perspectives about things that are directly impacting your experience, and as the president said, will ultimately impact your life. And I know many of us don't really see how the dots connect yet. But again, don't forget there's always enough out there that you don't know to make a whole new world. Some of the places that you may be asked to go may feel uncomfortable for you. Some of the ideas that you may be asked to wrestle with some of the relationships that you may be building may seem strange and weird and awkward, but if you give it time, it'll make more sense. Or the elders used to say, it'll get better by and by. And so next week is convocation. It is a very formal, ritualistic ceremony, and it is intended to help fully immerse and incorporate you into the life and the history and the legacy of this college. So if somebody asks you to dress up, do the best you can. When I came to LeMoyne, I didn't have a suit and tie. But when convocation came around, I either borrowed something from a teammate or I went and found something that would fit within the requested dress code. Don't always thumb your nose at that. You don't know what you might need to learn how to dress for going into your future. There's going to be things that you'll be asked to say and repeat. Pay attention to it. This is not just arbitrary stuff because somebody was bored and didn't have anything else better to do. These things literally help shape and train your mind. Because whether you know it or not, when God wrote your story, God put LeMoyne-Owen College in it. And I think God knows what God is doing. That's a good place to clap. You can clap right there. And so that'll be a wonderful experience. There'll be some other rituals that you'll participate in as part of this LeMoyne-Owen College family. So I want us to be fully invested in that. Don't think you're coming into this space as some chore or some punishment. Don't walk in here with your arms folded and can't wait till 12 o'clock so that you can get out. You might miss something God is trying to show you and share with you that'll shape your future. And in the coming weeks, we'll have an open forum where you can express what you are thinking and feeling about what you're experiencing in this space. But please know that the people who are involved in organizing these things have your best interest at heart. And because we are religious in our roots, there are going to be some opportunities where we'll be in this space and it'll feel something like church. And that's okay. Ain't nobody trying to convert you into nobody's religion. Ain't nobody gonna make you get baptized. Ain't nobody gonna make you speak in no tongues. If you come from a different faith tradition, we not gonna tell you you gotta denounce that faith tradition. If you stick around long enough, you'll hear and see from a lot of people, from a lot of different faith traditions, some of which might even say they don't have a faith tradition. All of that is welcome here, because that is part of the intellectual, scholastic, and spiritual tradition of this college. That's a good place to clap too. Lastly, as we leave from this place today, there are a few things I want to present to you in the form of announcements. And for those of you who want to share announcements from this platform, please try to get them to me or one of the chapel assistants at least 2 weeks in advance. Don't be upset if you come to us the morning of or the day before and you ask us to say something and we don't say it, because there's too many of those requests and we can't manage them all. There's some wonderful things happening on the life of the campus, and we want to do our best to share it. So today, like we announced last week, at 12 p.m. in the Little Theater, the Neighborhood Play Program is having auditions for their Soulsville South City Community Play. So all community artists, actors, singers, dancers, musicians, and poets, if you want to participate in that, please swing by the Little Theater at 12. Well, they'll be there from 12 to 2, so if you need to go get your lunch first, go ahead and do that. There's also the opening of the Turk Center. That's at 1 o'clock. So I want to encourage you to go and check that out. And now I feel like I'm missing another announcement, but that's why you shouldn't give me announcements at the last minute. So if I missed it. I also want to ask all of the students who are in any leadership capacity with any of our organizations, student government, National Paralytic Council, Du Bois Scholars. If you are a part of that, please stand at this time. We just want to acknowledge you. All right. Stay standing for just a second. For those of you who are not a part of these organizations, but you might be interested in them, don't hesitate to ask them about the organizations, and it might actually be something that would be extremely beneficial to you. I want to thank again. I want us to really celebrate Giselle and Damaris for sharing their experiences with us. And for some of you, next year or the year after, or maybe 5, 10 years from now, you might be up here in a space like this talking about what LeMoyne-Owen College meant for you. So I'm going to say these words as we dismiss. Again, it's a benediction. It's a good word. In Africana ways of knowing, it would be called the Medu Necher, divine speech, good speech. And so I say to you, go in peace, and may the spirit of all things that are holy go with you, now and forevermore. Say Ashe. That means, and it is so. Say amen. That means, so let it be. Peace, y'all. Don't forget, if you want to share your testimony with 807 Walker, 807 Magic 807 Radio, come up and see Miss Ina, and we'll definitely record that. Come on and share what you've seen and what you've heard and what you felt today. There's blessing at the bell at 3 o'clock. Blessing at the bell at 3 o'clock.
Right where I'm supposed to be. Right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your hand, Lord. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Right where I'm supposed to be. Where the safety is, where your goodness is, Lord. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. If you're looking for me, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right where I'm supposed to be. No regrets, no worries, 'cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. No regrets, no worries, 'cause I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your arms, right in your hand. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your love, right in your praise. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Your hand, your hand, your hand. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Your hand is always provided. Right where I'm supposed to be. Right where I'm supposed to be. Right in your hand, Lord. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Right where I'm supposed to be. Where the safety is, where your good